Well, hello everyone, welcome back to another video of the F1 22 Driver Career Mode with Williams, episode number 6 today for the Spanish Grand Prix of Season 1. If you missed the previous episode uploaded on Monday, I recommend you go and check that out, at the Miami Grand Prix. Not a potentially happy episode, but nevertheless, also join on, of course, subscribe to the channel, see plenty more Driver Career Mode videos. But yes, just repurchasing some fuel injection there because that failed. That's going to come in time for Monaco. Not that we need the extra engine power at Monaco, but it is going to unlock ERS, which is crucial because we do need ERS as we advance forward through the calendar then. Yes, two Sashi upgrades have come through that haven't failed. Which is good. Tyre wear is, we're going to put one on there because it's a little high for the soft tyre. So like to decrease that, but overall, despite having upgrades come in, still the slowest team on the grid. We need to get past Aston Martin and then hopefully set our sights on AlphaTauri and McLaren as well. Maybe the midfield for this car, but obviously, bearing in mind we've got to bear in mind that other teams will probably upgrade. We just need to be close to them and find the strength of this car, because so far we haven't, only 2 points finishes so far at Jeddah and Imola as well. So we'll move to qualifying then. Spain isn't particularly a strong circuit for me, but it's been rescanned, so this is the new Spain as well. Even it's not just turn 10, the whole thing's been rescanned, although there's not too many notable changes, and so far it's actually going well for once. We're up to P8 as well, so make that P9 now, make that P10 as other people improve. Russell's gone faster than 18.4 as well, so we're going to see we're 2/10 up coming through the first sector, which is 2/10 up on Ocon time. I'm sure he's out there improving as well as we now going to start dropping down the field, but we are improving this time, unlike our what happened previously. Leclerc now goes fastest, can almost stop him and going back to winning ways after Miami. We're down to P13, 2.5 cents up though, so we're having a good time, and the pace is actually not bad by the looks of it. Through into the new section, then we're in the new tarmac at turn 10, out of this section, and it's not too bad. This section is a lot better. I find it a lot better now. You used to be able to understeer into the into Narnia on a pad. Now it's because they changed turn 10. It's less chance of that happening. We've improved almost 6.5 tenths out across the line. Where will this be? I think P9. We had dropped to P17. It is P9, so it's our best qualifying of the season so far, and it's come at Spain of all places as well. We did beat Norris as well. That McLaren is only slightly better than the Williams car, so the upgrades are coming. Albon, don't know what happened to him. His focus is sort of gone way down, so the fact his focus is being affected means he's not getting the most out of his Williams car. So same like with Ricardo, Norris is having 5 focus. That's where he's getting his car. So we'll see what we can do. Can we get points again? Time for the race today, Spanish Grand Prix.
The Spanish Grand Prix has been a permanent fixture of the Formula One calendar for over 30 years now, and for good reason. Do you remember Michael Schumacher's absolute dominance here in that rain-soaked Grand Prix in 1996? That day, he took his first ever victory for Ferrari, and we've had many more iconic moments since. It's a sellout crowd of 140,000 here today as we await lights out for the 730-metre sprint into Turn 1. This is a 2.9-mile racetrack. Overtaking is challenging through these 16 corners, but there's still a lot of high-speed excitement to be found, including the flat-out Turn 3 and the terrifying blind right of Turn 9. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, and the smooth operator Carlos Sainz completes the front row. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Russell, Sir Lewis Hamilton and Perez, Bottas, Fernando Alonso, Phoenix and Lando Norris, Ocon, Mick Schumacher, Kevin Magnussen and Tsunoda, Gasly, Zhou, Daniel Ricciardo and Sebastian Vettel, Stroll, and Alex Albon picks up the last spot on the grid. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway. It's just about time to go to the track for the beginning of the race, but before we do, Natalie Pinkham, what types of strategy do you think we can expect going into today's race?
Well, there's a lot that both driver and the team have to keep in mind when going into a race. The tyres, fuel, energy recovery system, the list goes on and on. But I think the key to today's victory will come down to the pit stop strategy. Come in too soon and you might find yourself needing more than one stop. Too late and you're putting yourself at a disadvantage by spending longer on worn tyres.
So here we are down on the grid in P9, no penalties for anyone. And now race strategy is going to be a one stop, but you're going to have to listen out for me. Listen here. It seems that the fastest strategy is medium to soft, and look at the delta. It's not like it's a couple of tenths slower, it's 3 seconds faster than the soft and medium. So I think we're going to try it. We might as well see if we can get some extra points or not as well, but bearing in mind that the AI have been doing well on soft and mediums, so we'll have to wait and see. 5 lights then to the Spanish Grand Prix. Lights out and away we go, and it's again initially a good start, but then of course the second half the traction happens and the AI move away. Ocon's going to have a go around the outside, and then we get the top speed eventually arrives. We're going to dart down the inside of Bottas at turn 1. Can we make it around the outside of Bottas? So we go through this fast right-hander and we move up to P8. So a good start from me. So watching the two Ferraris there, Leclerc and Sainz, they're still going side by side. Obviously Sainz will desperately want to win his Chrome Grand Prix as well. One of the Mercedes, a checkerboard Mercedes and Red Bull's behind, and in the end no, they're still going side by side, the two Ferraris, up into the middle sector, into the final sector, and eventually Sainz forces out Leclerc. So the locals will definitely like that. Sainz leads ahead as well. So watching on board with Valtteri Bottas, he's following me, the car in front, and he thought about having an absolutely disgusting dive bomb. There's no way ever that he was ever going to be able to get down the inside and loses out big time. So we've got Max Verstappen having a go at George Russell. This is for P3 as well. Verstappen is going to have the inside line, but Russell keeps his foot in, to be fair to the Brit. And will they still go side by side? I'm going to run ball with Sergio Perez for this bit. They're still going side by side again up to turn 10. This is a great racing as well. Russell's been forced wide, and there's contact for Perez as well as he makes contact with Hamilton, but does get ahead. So Hamilton is up to P6 as well. We were dropping Bottas, but then I had an just had a slower lap. Now we've now set our personal best at 22.4, which is not bad. The AI are in the low 22s at this moment in time as well. But in the end, Alonso's going to move away there. The Spaniard at his home Grand Prix is doing well. There was a little bit. Bottas tried up the inside there, didn't get that, didn't get the move done, and that he's pretty much lost speed on the fast right-hander to Lando Norris, and Lando Norris is down the inside, and Lando Norris is through and forces Bottas out, and then Bottas is going to get overtaken. A lovely move right round the outside there by Mick Schumacher, and has to turn the inside in the next corner. Schumacher completes the move as well. Magnussen now will be lining up a move on Bottas as well, so Bottas is sinking like a stone. We're in a fight with Lando Norris still. We moved up to P4 now, with everyone starting to make their first stops onto the set of medium tyres. So we forced Lando out of turn 1 and as well. So was there any contact there? Because he lost a second through turn 1. No, he just went very wide through that corner as he tried to go side by side, and not having any of that through turn 1. So Yes, and out of the pits, well, Sainz jumped Verstappen last week in the pits, but this week it's Leclerc jumping Sainz, excuse me, in the pits. The locals will not be happy with that. Leclerc is back up in the lead, and even worse for Sainz is that he's got Max Verstappen, the reigning world champion, having to go around the inside, but look, Sainz keeps the position, gets the better traction, and retains P2. Meanwhile, for us, Sainz has actually been dropped quite a bit by Leclerc. Leclerc is looking for 5 out of 6 wins as well. We're coming into the pits in the end of lap 10. We have been leading this race, so first time leading a race in Formula 1, so nice to see that as well. But in the end, unable to slot Leclerc or do anything to help us, the likes of Verstappen out as well. And we come into the pits. Good turn in there as well. Will it be a good stop? 2.9. We need to hopefully we can get those optimum turning. We haven't had an optimal turning since the opening race at Bahrain, and we're about to be helped even more here because Norris and Magnussen there, both on the hard tyres, so we're not close to Alonso, I'm afraid. Alonso's having a very good race, and he's actually behind. They're all stuck behind Sergio Perez, who's jumped both red Mercedes now as well. Alonso's just sat behind them, unfortunately, unable to do anything. Perez on hards, and I think he might have some floor damage. And here's Magnussen, who's jumped Schumacher. Not sure what happened to Schumacher as well, because he's dropped behind Ocon now and back behind Bottas, whereas Magnussen's jumped them all and he's moved up to P10, Norris P9, as we're watching Yuki Tsunoda, who's way down the order, not having a great day in the AlphaTauri, but he's now out of the race with an engine failure, just as well because his race wasn't really going that well. And that was pretty much it for us. The tyres pretty much went off, so another reason why we need that tyre wear upgrade. But it's another win for Leclerc and Ferrari. 5 out, it's all 6 wins for Leclerc. But you see the tyres, even though we only put them on the lap 10 in 7 laps, 34% on the front left there. So that's potentially why we need a tyre wear upgrade, just to reduce that, to give us a bit more consistent lap times, so then we can try and catch up to the likes of Alonso on these alternate strategies. But it was comfortable P8 in the end, no challenge whatsoever from Norris or Magnussen, because they chose the hard tyre as well. And Spain, the track they had I will make this, Spain is a better track because there's less, the AI are less OP on traction here. They was only gaining like 3/10 over me compared to 7/10 at Miami. So back in the points, definitely what we needed. Faster time than quite a few people ahead, but bearing in mind that was set on lower fuel, so probably they have to take that into account. Ricciardo missing out again with a 2-stop. Albon disappointing again as well. So in terms of the Drivers' Championship, we retain P12. Norris moves ahead of Tsunoda, so he's up to P13 as well. Leclerc 42 points ahead of Sainz now as well. Verstappen 59 points behind. Hamilton is 4th, keeping that consistency there, and he's the one that's been Mr. Consistent in this career mode for Mercedes and for Red Bull, long way behind. For back up into P7, they'll head of AlphaTauri in the constructors. So you can see there, Alex Albon 53 focus.
Here's where you can buy perks to become a better driver both on and off the track. Any fee you negotiate over your base salary in the contract negotiation is cash you can spend on these perks.
Just thought I'd give a little cameo to Emma there, considering the fact that of Claire, Jeff and Emma, she's the only one left now. You notice the perk fund, we're going for a power mapping upgrade to reduce the engine wear slightly, although that has been patched in the new patch that was released earlier today as well. But Albon 53 focus, you can see why he's struggling for form. Whereas, you know, our focus, even though we had a disappointing result at Miami, we have still got some good focus when the track is good for us. Next up, Monaco, probably be back to normal outside the points, and then obviously next week's episode, Baku, Canada, and then Silverstone. So, you know, of those 4 tracks, I think we can get points at 2, but that depends on how OP the traction is at the likes of Baku and Canada. If the traction is horrific, then we might not get points at any. We'll have to wait and see. Monaco episode is ready, and that will be out tomorrow. So if you have enjoyed this video, then leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and you see plenty more F122 driver career mode videos as and when they come out. Until the next video then, I'll see you next time. Take care, thanks so much for watching, enjoy your day, and goodbye.